Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sage 1 Accounting webinar. The topic that will be handled in this webinar is creating and maintaining your Supplier Master files. Just some formalities before we get started. Everyone is muted so that there are no interruptions and that I can be heard clearly. Please feel free to address any questions in your question box on the screen and I will answer them during this webinar. First and utmost, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend today's webinar. My name is Tasneem and I will be taking you through. Information that you enter which does not often change is called statistic information. When you enter details for a supplier, this information is called a master file. Suppliers are those entities that you purchase your selling goods from. Suppliers are also referred to as creditors or payables. Suppliers are not only companies that you buy your stock from, but they can also be other entities that you deal with, such as a company that repairs your fax machine. Under your Supplier Menu list, you have Supplier Categories. You are able to create categories for your supplier accounts. You can use these categories to sort your suppliers. For example, you may want to sort your suppliers as local or national, or by product range. Select Add a Category, and once you have done so, you have the option to add a supplier category. Alternatively, under Supplier, Add a Supplier, you have the option to add a category from your drop-down box, Add New Category. Save your category and it will belong to your category listing. Under Suppliers, Add a Supplier, the following window will appear. Add your supplier name, select a category if necessary. If you are capturing a supplier with an opening balance, please ensure that the date is set to the correct date with the corresponding opening balance. You have the option to mark it as active or inactive, set a credit limit if necessary, and add your supplier VAT number in the following window. With regards to auto-allocating payments to the oldest invoice, if you wish to work with this supplier on the balance forward method, please ensure that the box is checked. However, if you wish to work on the open item structure, uncheck the following checkbox. Under your contact details, please ensure that all necessary information is added, and if you wish to communicate via email, a suitable email address is added in the following box. You have the option to link to Google Maps by clicking on the following link, and the address as stated in your postal or physical address will then be brought up. Under Activities, Purchase Graphs, Purchase Orders, Unpaid Invoices, these tabs will appear once transacting and processing has been done to the following customer. Under your Additional Contacts, you have the option to add further or more information contacts with regards to this particular supplier. You may want to add the owner or the manager. Click on the name, add the manager's name, his designation, appropriate telephone numbers and email addresses. If you wish to have the supplier's banking details added to his master file, do so in the following tab. Under your notes, you have an entry date and an action date. Add an action date if you wish to have perhaps a discount added. So if I would pay the following invoice by this date, I will receive a 5% discount. The note will then appear in your to-do list on the action date that's stipulated. You also have the option to add a note. If you have a contract in place with the following supplier, scan the attachment and add it in the following window. Your user-defined fields, these are extra information fields that can be added in your company settings, user-defined fields under suppliers. Once you have added all the necessary information, you have the option to save, alternatively save and new to add another supplier. Under your Supplier Menu, List of Suppliers, you have your supplier listing available. You have the option to edit, delete, and a quick view. You also have the option to add a supplier and import suppliers here. When selecting the Edit Supplier option, it would then take you to the Add a Supplier window, which would allow you to make changes to an existing supplier. Under your suppliers list of suppliers, you have the option to delete a supplier if no processing was done to the following supplier. With regards to your quick view, a quick view is an information box that will give you in-depth information for a particular supplier. You also have the option to edit the supplier, pull up a supplier statement, supplier purchases, and view unpaid invoices, all transactions, or your purchase orders. You can also access your quick views under your quick view menu, suppliers, and then from the drop-down box, select the appropriate supplier. We have reached the end of this webinar, and I do hope a lot was taken in.